So in this video, we are going to get into the real fun part, or the meat of algebra, which is solving for x. And by solving for x, I mean like x plus 7 equals 10. So what this means is something, or some number, plus 7 equals 10. So how do we figure that out? Well, step one, we write down our original equation. An example. So the first thing we want to do is write down our original equation. And in this case, our original equation is something, or x plus 7 equals 4. And our semicolon, or colon, should be up there. Step two, we want to get x by itself. And we get x by itself by subtracting, or multiplying, adding, or dividing the other numbers. So we want to undo what has been done. An example is x plus 7 equals 4. So here we have, and we can't really see it, whoops, we have x plus 7 equals 4. So to get x by itself, I want to undo this plus 7. And the opposite of addition is subtraction. So I want to subtract 7 from this side, and you can't see it, but I want to subtract 7 from this side. Now, when I do these, I like to think of this as a scale. So I have x plus 7 equals 4. And I think of the equal sign as a scale. I want to keep this balanced. What I do to this side, I have to do to this side. So if I subtract 7 here, I want to keep it balanced and subtract 7 on the other side. Alright, well, we learned from our one of our addition properties that if I have positive 7 and negative 7, those are opposites, they cancel out and equal 0. And so on the left-hand side, I'm left with x. And over on the right-hand side, I have 4 minus 7, and that gives me negative 3. So that is the answer that we get for the equation x plus 7 equals 4. Step 3. Oh, here we have it, simplify. And here I have it starred and exclamation points. I'm going to circle it and put little stars around it. Make sure you do what you do to one side, you do to the other side to keep it balanced. So here we have x plus 7 equals 4. For a little scale, we subtract 7 from both sides to keep it balanced, and we get x equals 3. Step 4, we want to check our work. We want to make sure that what we got for x is really what it should be. And for some reason, my subtraction sign is up here. It should be down here. Well, negative 3 plus 7 equals 4. Negative 3. If I add 7 and negative 3, I get 4. So check and check. Now, before we go into solving two-step equations, let's do another example. What if I had x minus 2 equals 5? Well, I want to keep it balanced, so whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. And I want to undo subtraction. Undoing subtraction is addition. So if I add 2 to both sides, and how do I choose 2? I choose 2 because what is the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2. I want to make this equal to 0. So I add 2 to this side, and I get x equals 7. The other deal that sometimes helps is if I draw a line down. So what I do on one side of the line, I do on the other side of the line. Let's do one more example. What if I had negative 4 plus x equals 11. So negative 4 plus x. So I want x to stay here on this side. I want to move this minus 4, negative 4 from here. I want to get rid of it on the left-hand side. So what we do on one side of the line, we do on the other. And to zero out a negative 4, I add 4 to both sides. Plus 4. So those babies cancel, and I get x equals 15. Okay. Now, two-step equations can include addition and subtraction or multiplication and division. And actually, before we go on to that, I want to do, another one. Let's do another one. What if I have 4x equals 16? This is a one step. So what this means is 4 times something equals 16. Well, what is the opposite of multiplication? Division. 4 divided by 4. And I do 4 divided by 4 because that becomes 1. 1x equals, and I want to divide 16 by 4. 16 divided by 4 is also 4. So x equals 4. Well, let's plug it back into my equation. If I have 4 times 4 equals 16. Check and check. Okay, let's move on to solving two-step equation. Step 1, same deal as the first time. Write out the original equation. Example, x divided by 2 plus 5 equals 11. And for some reason, that did not write on the same line. So x, whoops, let me erase that. Start right over. So if I have x divided by 2 plus 5 equals 11. That's my original equation. Alright, and let's see what we have. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is subtract or add first. So I'm going to write x plus x divided by 2 plus 5 equals 11. So according to this, I want to subtract or add first, and I'm going to subtract because I want to undo the plus 5. I'm going to put my little line down here. Subtract 5 from both sides. Those bad boys cancel out because they become 0. I have x divided by 2 equals 6. And now, I still have to get rid of this right here, divided by 2. Well, what is the opposite of division? To cancel it out, it's multiplication. So I want to multiply both sides by 2. Those 2's cancel because anything divided by itself is 1. So I have x equals 6 times 2 is 12. Alright, and that's what we get for our answer. And here we have simplifying what you have, and it all kind of blurred together. So I already went over the example, but it's extremely important that what you do to one side, you must do to the other. Alright, let's see what we have on slide. Alright, I think that this is supposed to say 12, but the 2 is off the screen. So I have x divided by 2 equals 6. I multiply both sides by 2. I get x equals 12. Let's plug that in and see if it works. 12 divided by 2. Let's see here. 12 divided by 2 plus 5 equals 11. Well, 12 divided by 2 is 6. Plus 5 equals 11. Check and check. Alright, and it says, so that is it. But let's do a couple more examples. What if I had x divided by 3 minus 2 equals 4? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my line, so I know whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other. So I will add 2 to both sides. X over 3 minus 2 plus 2, those cancel, and they become 0. So I have x divided by 3 equals 6. Now I want to undo division, because I'm dividing by 3. Undoing division is multiplication. Those cancel, and I get x equals 18. Okay, good deal. Let's do another one. Let's do 2x minus 1 equals 7. First thing I'm going to do is I want to add or subtract to get rid of this. And what am I going to do? I'm going to add because I want to cancel that out. So I add 1 to both sides. Notice I do the same thing on both sides of the line, or both sides of the little scale. Those cancel. I get 2x equals 8. Now let's see here. Now I'm going to have 2 times something equals 8. I need to undo this multiplication. So I divide both sides by 2. And I get x equals 4. Okay, let's plug this into the equation to see if it works. Well, if I do 2 times 4 minus 1 equals 7. Well, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 1 does indeed equal 7. So I want you to try on your own for class. Let's see here. Oh, how about 5x plus 3 equals 28. There's one. And I think another one, I'm going to make this a little bit more challenging. Negative 4 plus x over 3 equals negative 5. Okay? Try these two problems and we will go over them in class next time I see you.